Morning, this is the Christian Hearts Christian Fellowship online ministry. You're also listening to the Jesus Heart Radio on almost 8:30 on the 20th of the third month of the year 2017. And today we're going to talk about, because as you know, not only am I the CEO, the DJ, and the founder of the Jesus Heart Radio, I'm also the pastor of the Christian Hearts Christian Fellowship online ministry. Now, before I get started, if any of y'all live anywhere in Coffee County or near Coffee County in like Douglas, Georgia, Nichols, that's Coffee County. There's Nichols, Douglas, Ambrose, Broxton, and Pridgeon. I think that's about it. But anyway, are either surrounding counties that are not that far off. If you're either in Coffee County or surrounding counties, if you need a pastor, then try me out and see if I'll work for your church. If so, be willing to be a church that will let me not only preach for you, but record the services and broadcast it on the internet for the world to know about the Lord. If you're not willing to do that, then you need to work something out, because I have a ministry where I get on the internet and I actually preach. So, and this is part of it. So if you want to try me out, then just get a hold of me. Um, just go to Facebook and look up Isaac David Brigman, and also you could email me at jesusheartradio@gmail.com. But if you want faster results, you can message me on Messenger on Facebook, and if I don't answer right away, I will as soon as I can. And if you want further info on how to get a hold of me, I'll let you know as time goes by upon request. Anyway, into the service today. Well, as I always say, I'm going to be the kind of man that's going to talk to you in two different ways. I'm going to talk to you in the way of, you know me, like I say, I'm going to talk to you in two different ways. From the Bible and from the heart, and it's still, either way, from God. Well, I'm going to do a little bit of both right now. Okay, let's see. Hold on here. Okay. Says here, the headlines caught my eye. Rest days importance for runners. In Tommy Manning's article, the former member of the U.S. mountain running team emphasized a principle that DEDICATED athletes sometimes ignore. The body needs time to rest and rebuild after exercise. After EXERCISE physicality, the the adaptations that occur as a result of training only happen during rest. Manning wrote, "This means rest is as important as workouts. The same is true in our walk of faith and service. Regular times of rest are essential to avoid burnout and disagreement. Jesus saw spiritual balance during his life on earth, even in the face of great demands. When his disciples returned from a from a strenuous time of teaching and healing others, he said to them, "Come with me by yourselves to a quiet place and get some rest." Mark 6:31. But as long but a large crowd followed him, so Jesus taught them and fed them with only 5 loaves and 2 fish. 32:44. When everyone was gone, Jesus went up to a mountain to pray. If you live as defeated by work, then what we do becomes less and less effective. Jesus invites us to regularly join him in a quiet place to pray and to get some rest. Lord Jesus, thank you for every example of prayer along with you, our Father. Give us wisdom and determination to make rest a priority as we follow you. Now, see, what that tells me is that if we take rest at times when it's time to rest, we see the things of God. We see the things of Jesus more clearer, or clearer in general, if we just follow what God told us to follow. God told me, he said, "Brother, if you don't rest," he gave me that message and said, no matter if it was already wrote down somewhere or not, it still was something I feel I was supposed to tell y'all. Rest. Like, give you an example. You know when you go to church on Sundays and you rest good Saturday night, you do better at church because you got there on time, you got there like you're supposed to be, and you had less problems. But see, that's not what people want to hear. They want to hear you say that didn't have this going on, didn't have that going on. And it's like, why are y'all even worrying about stuff that don't make no sense? And I think the problem was not that each person even was worried about what they were or weren't supposed to. I think that they let their minds get away from them. And all I can say is, if you don't rest, your mind will make you see things, do things, and be things you are not supposed to be. And there are things that I don't understand. I mean, I've seen people cry. I've seen people get happy. I've seen people get mad. And I never did understand why they did it. Why some people did what they did. There's a rest in that situation. There are multiple definitions of the word rest. Like, Jesus wants you to rest your mind. Stop right there and realize to yourself, why did I want to burn this place down? Why did I want to shoot this person? Why did I want to kill this person? No, rest your mind. Just sit down and think. Is it worth it? Is it worth going to prison for? Is it worth going to jail for? Well, if you don't have that rest, which means to sit down, talk it out with God, rest your mind a little while. Just sit down and realize, what are you doing? There are too many people in this world right now. They don't know God, and they won't know God because they don't care about God. And they think that you're the problems. You're the problems. Oh, yeah, you're the problem. Well, last time I checked, I never knew I was such a problem. But you can prove I'm such a problem. I'll give you it. But you won't show us because you're too scared to admit you don't know what you're talking about. So you say, and I'm like, brother, you didn't even tell me where I was wrong. You didn't even tell me where I was right. You just got the stuttering and the stammering because you didn't get the point across to me where I was wrong. God could tell me in my face right now I was wrong, and I'd be like, yeah, God, I'm wrong, and I'm going to be wrong, and you're telling me I'm wrong. Not I'm going to be wrong 24/7, that I'm going to be wrong at times, and I'm going to be right at times. And when the Lord tells you about it, you tell the Lord, okay, Lord, I want you to be the one to tell me I'm wrong. I can't sit there and let some man that don't know me tell me I'm wrong. What good does that do me? Makes you feel kind of stupid to think that you're sitting there letting people tell you you're right, letting people tell you you're wrong, and they don't know you like God does. If mom and dad say you were wrong, they know you like God does about that stuff that they're talking about, because they wouldn't be talking if they didn't know you like that. And see, teachers do it too. And see, but then they got these teachers nowadays that don't care about these students. And you know what, my brothers and sisters and neighbors and friends, there's something I gotta tell you. It blows my mind really to think about the things that these students learn in school. Some of these teachers don't want to teach it, and when the teachers teach it, they teach it the way the teachers want it to be. Some teachers want to say it was a Big Bang Theory that made the world, and then the students miss out on the one about the good Lord. Excuse me, the good Lord. Then the second one is where if the teacher does love the student, oh boy, what kind of love they have for them. Wrong kind of love. Why don't you think that's why we hear in the news about these here teachers having these sexual affairs with the students? That stuff is messed up. And yet we want to start talking like, oh, this teacher did this teacher did that. I know our kids ain't getting the best of education. I already knew that to start with. Don't you think I knew that to start with? I would have brought it up if I didn't. I know what these kids go through. I know what they don't go through. They don't go through this attitude about getting to know God, getting to know Jesus, because they're too busy hearing what the teacher's saying. And you know as well as I do, ain't no jury gonna convict a man for being honest about it. Well, it just don't make no sense why we got parents today don't discipline the kids right, and we got teachers today trying to have sexual affairs with the students, and then you don't hear it like you used to hear it, but there was a time some years back that you'd hear all in the news about these Catholic priests that are trying to get with the young men. And I start wondering, is that really true? Or did the people not like the priest and they wanted the priest disappeared? If that was the case, I'd say you got some sick issues, folks. No, 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 no. You think I don't know what I'm talking about? Come on, brothers and sisters. We're not going to sit here and let you talk about all these people and what they did and didn't do if they didn't do it. And I'm going to tell you, you don't be just saying, this man did this man did that, if you don't know him that well. I know a lot of people now got themselves in trouble over something someone said they did and didn't do. And then they find out later, oh, brother so-and-so or sister so-and-so, said this about this person. And then they found out later that old sister so-and-so or brother so-and-so, how much of a brother or sister were they? They ain't much of your brother and your sister if they can sit there and talk about somebody in a manner they don't know nothing about. So if it ain't talking trash about somebody 1 minute, then it's parents that don't care about their kids. Nah, don't get me wrong, folks. There are parents out there, I believe, that do love their kids. But there are a lot of parents that deprive their kids of the Lord. They don't even let them go to church. I know people right now say they won't go to church because there's some excuse they got. And each person that makes those excuses, it's different ones each time, you know it. I'm going to tell you, I can't understand all this. Why would y'all want to do that? Why would y'all want to cut your kids out of church? Church is an important thing for your kids. And then you got why does drug dealers decide it's time to do drugs? Why does drug dealers time say it's time to sell the drugs. And I don't do that. And I don't encourage you folks to do it either. Because that junk is sick. That junk is stupid. And if people want to get mad at you if you say anything about it, oh, brother, you shouldn't have brought it up. Oh, brother, you shouldn't have said that. Oh, you asking for it. No. You know, I don't get that. Why in the world would y'all want to live in a world where y'all know good and well what's going to happen next? And yet y'all still live in that world like you think if you had a bad disaster happen to you and you know you made it out alive, what you think you're supposed to do? Go put yourself back in that disaster you got out of? I think not. God said I got you out to show you there's a better way to live. If you don't believe that, then I don't know what to say, people. Talking about God said that I gave you a reason to still be alive. God said He gave you a reason to still be alive. And why are you still waiting for an answer or a statement or a question or any kind of word when God gave it to you already? He's saying, man, you just got out of a bad situation. Why in the world do you want to put yourself in a world where that thing can happen again? I don't get it. God said, I got you out of the mess. Why do you put yourself back in it? Oh, you put yourself back in it because you want the world to know something. You want the world to know that you basically, how did it go? Basically, what happened was to say, oh, you know, here's what happened. Oh, you know, here's what happened. No excuses, people. If you're been in a bad situation and got out of it with the Lord, stay out of it. Rest yourself in the ideas and the morals and the principles that what God got you out of, don't find no way to get back in it. I don't care what excuse you got that says you need to go back in it. And if you know someone done you dirty, you pray about it. You tell God, I'd like to pray for that person because there ain't no need me getting all upset about something I can't do nothing about or won't do nothing about or shouldn't. Stupid. And you try telling me how the world you going to sit there and say all that. But brothers and sisters, I want to tell you something. If God puts you through it, then when you get through it, you'll be a better man. And when God gets you out of danger, don't go back to that danger. What in the world makes a man want to do something stupid? Then turn around and say, oh, you know what? I think I'm going to take and just keep on doing something stupid. I don't get it with these folks. And you know what? If you don't like me or don't like what I stand for, that's another thing. But why are you sitting there? You don't like so-and-so? So y'all want to take revenge on him or her. Oh, so burn down their houses. Or if not that, then take and shoot somebody. Or either slander their name. Or either plant drugs on them or something or another. There's always going to be something that the devil tries to use to try to prove to you that someone don't like you. And I'm sorry, but how the world are we going to live in a world where you sit there and say, oh, I think if I'm mad at so-and-so, I'll take my revenge on them. Wasn't it vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, his enviness, vengeance, and revenge, that's the Lord's. Not my revenge, not my jealousy, not my envy, not my vengeance. Because the Lord takes His own revenge on people that do dirty like that. And we should sit back and let God do all the work. Let Jesus do all the work. Don't sit there and say, I'm going to do this to old so-and-so. I'm going to do this to old... No, you're not. Because you start doing that mess, then you just get deeper in the mess. Well, right now we need to pray. Dear Lord God and Jesus, I pray to you right now that each person that hears me will be able to wake up, wise up, smart up, and say, God, I love you, and God, I know you, and God, I will love you, and will know you. And I wish you up and pray that whatever we do during our day, it'll be pleasing to you and for you. And I wish you up and pray for all this to work out. In the precious name of God and Jesus, I pray. I hope that all things work out and will work out and can work out. Amen and amen.